Hey Guru Nation, welcome back to another quick video. Today's question comes from somebody on Instagram. They said, "Hey Dan, hey, by the way, make sure you like, subscribe, comment, share. If you don't know what to comment, put a robot emoji. It's going to help the algorithm, help shatter the algorithm. Thank you so much. Really means a lot to me." Today's question comes from Instagram. They said, "Hey, I have an interview for document management analyst. Do you have any tips for me? What they're going to ask in the interviews and things like that?" I said, "Look, I have no idea. Maybe startup regulatory and regulatory maintenance, investigator site file. Send me the job description and I'll make the video." So in the job description, they're looking for minimum bachelor's degree or equivalent, or an equivalent combination of experience and education. This is for you associate's degree people. If you have enough experience and an associate's degree, you would qualify for this. 2 years or more experience in clinical research. Basically, let's get into the role. The document management analyst supports the global ClinOps Center of Excellence, conducting activities consistent with the mission of global clinical operations to inform, connect, and advance the company's global clinical organization through coordination with the business unit liaison and collaboration with divisional and regional clinical teams. The document management analyst conducts clinical trial startup activities related to the preparation and approval of regulatory docs. Look, I had no clue when I answered her. I said, startup, no regulatory startup. What happens when you get through all the jargon, cut through all the jargon? Conducts clinical trial startup activities related to the preparation and approval of regulatory documents, ensure they are carried out consistent with service level agreements, legal and regulatory standards, and applicable company policies. Specifically, take notes. These activities will include investigational review board, IRB submissions and approvals, site-informed consent form customizations and negotiations, essential regulatory document collection, and other site startup support activities as applicable. Site startup regulatory is a very entry-level role. This is an entry-level-ish type of role, even though they want a combination of education and experience. Right now, they can want whatever they want. The market dictates what they're going to get. Your responsibilities will include work independently and proactively to coordinate all necessary activities for site regulatory submissions and essential document collection for allocated sites, manage multiple sets of essential regulatory documents across several studies and division portfolios, partner with sites to support the negotiation of the informed consent form, develop and foster research site relationships to become a subject matter expert in the site startup regulatory process across multiple sites, leverage knowledge of site regulatory processes, manage to achieve target IRB timelines, problem solve site startup challenges. Look, you have to know startup regulatory. You have to know the essential documents, 1572 form. You have to know CLIA waiver. You got to know IRB approval. You obviously have to know informed consent, how to get those approved, negotiated. What does it mean negotiate with the site? Well, the site wants to pay $50 a visit for the patients, and they also want to add parking stipend for the patients. So it's going to be up to $75. Will the IRB accept that? Will the IRB consider that coercive? This is the negotiations, right? Whose phone number? What's the 24-hour number that's going to appear on the ICF for the subjects? That's another part of site startup. Financial disclosure form for all PI, for the PI and the sub-Is on the study. Current GCP, current license, current CV, paginated CV sometimes, signed and dated recently. Okay, that's study startup activities in a nutshell. In my book, The Comprehensive Guide to Clinical Research, I actually go through this. We have SIV report templates, site selection visit report templates. We talk about startup regulatory and protocol. Signature page is another startup regulatory document. Investigator brochure proof of receipt is another startup regulatory form. I think those are about it, right? Those are called the essential documents. I actually have a follow-up letter here in front of me, and it's CVs, GCPs, licenses, CLIA waiver, 1572 is a startup, financial disclosure form for the PI and the sub-Is, all that I mentioned. protocol signature page, if there's any amendment page. IRB approval is a big one. That's what you got to learn. You got to be an expert on these things. They even said in that in the job description, you got to be a subject matter expert on this. So what should you do right now if you're preparing for this interview? Watch as many of my videos as you can on startup regulatory. Read that part of my book. If you wanted to, you should do either my CRA or my CRC Academy. It's going to prepare you not just for this, but for almost any role in clinical research with a real internship. So message me if you're interested in that, 949-415-6256. And then get on LinkedIn and look at other startup specialists or document management analysts. Look at thought leaders. What are they saying about startup regulatory? What are things the industry is doing to move startup regulatory forward? Start interacting with these people on LinkedIn and say, hey, I'm curious, as somebody who's about to become a startup specialist. You are an experienced startup specialist, sir or ma'am. What are the main challenges in doing that? People will answer you if they think you're genuine. If they think that you're trying to sell them something, they may not. Or if they think that you're trying to steal their intellectual property, they may not. But if you talk to enough people, I'm sure you'll get reasonable answers from them. And that's how you start becoming a subject matter expert on this. And that's how you're going to not only get this job, but any other job you want. That's my thoughts. What did I miss? Let me know in the comments. Catch you all later. Bye-bye. Appreciate it, Guru Nation.